So remember that the monocot seeds, when they germinate, they also have a radicle. That radicle will give rise to the primary root, but that primary root will not live long to be called as taproot. That's why we always say that taproot is absent in the monocots, but the reality is primary root is present for some time, which is replaced by fibrous root, and those adventitious roots develop they develop from the nodes or internodes of the stem, or they may develop from the branches. They can even develop from the leaves, and these roots do not penetrate deep into soil, hence they are surface feeder type, and they are characteristics of the monocot plant. So remember, taproot can be deep feeder or surface feeder, but adventitious is always surface feeder type of the roots. Now how do you distinguish taproot from the adventitious roots? The taproot arises from the radicle of the embryo, and the adventitious root develops from any other portion but not from the radicle. The primary root persists throughout the life, that's why it develops into taproot. Primary root is short-lived, so it does not develop into taproot. It is always underground. Taproot is always underground. Remember, adventitious roots can be underground or they can be above the ground, because if you have seen plants like money plant and all, you must have seen, or if you see the banyan tree or otherwise the sacred fig tree, you will find roots hanging from them, from their branches. So these hanging roots are also adventitious roots. There is a single main root in the case of taproot system. There are many roots arising in a cluster in the case of adventitious roots. Taproot are generally deep feeder. Adventitious roots are, if they are underground, then they are surface feeder, because they can be above ground also. If they are underground, surface feeder. So they are easy to be uprooted. Main root is thicker than the other roots. In this case, all roots are similar and they are fibrous. So taproot is divisible into primary, secondary, tertiary and rootlets, but such things are not present in the case of adventitious roots. It is characteristic of dicot plants, and adventitious roots are characteristics of the monocot plants. You can see this picture. It's clearly visible that there is a primary root, then there is a secondary root, tertiary and the rootlets. But in this case, fibers only develop and all roots look similar. There is no main root type of concept in the case of adventitious roots. Now, yes, the next topic is modifications of the roots. So how roots modify? First we will do the modifications of taproot, then the modification of the adventitious roots. So modification of the roots, first modification of taproot possible is the fleshy roots. So those roots which become swollen. Fleshy means swollen, full of flesh inside. So flesh basically is for storage of the food. So what exactly happen is the whole taproot will swell. If you recollect the diagram which I had shown you before, the primary root will start swelling in size. If you pay attention to carrot, if you pay attention